Welcome in humanity to another edition of TSAT, which stands for Truth, Supersedes All Things at All Times, no matter what, and P.F.E, which stands for Plan for Everything at All Times, no matter fucking what, family. Let's get in here and watch this video that's entitled Feeling Rich versus Being Rich. The dangerous difference, family. Economics and Finance 101, family. Listen up, man. This could save your life economically and financially, family. You won't be living paycheck to paycheck all your life. Listen in, family. Let's get it.
Picture this scenario, because it is arguably the most dangerous moment in the financial life of a modern couple.
Well, let's hear
It's
it.
Friday night. You and your partner at a nice steakhouse, the kind with white tablecloths and waiters who scrape the crumbs off the table between courses. You are toasting with expensive wine because something amazing just happened. Maybe your partner just got a massive promotion, or maybe they just went back to work after years of staying home with the kids. Suddenly, your household income has jumped from $80,000 to $150,000. You do the mental math between sips of Cabernet. You think, we are rich. We're going to save so much money. We're going to pay off the debt, max out the 401ks, and finally get ahead. You feel an immense sense of relief. You talk about buying a boat or upgrading the house or finally going to Europe. But fast forward exactly 12 months. You look at your bank account on a Tuesday morning and your stomach drops. You have the exact same amount of savings as you did the night of the steak dinner, maybe even less. The credit card balance is actually higher. You are making almost double the money, but you feel twice as broke. You have walked blindly into the lifestyle creep trap, a phenomenon where your spending expands like a gas to fill the exact volume of your new income, leaving you running faster on a treadmill that is set to a steeper incline. You are working harder, but you are not getting anywhere.
Yeah, I know y'all. That was probably good. They did a commercial right here because y'all needed a break from that truth, man. Let's continue. You needed a break from the truth. So y'all ready now? Let's get it.
My name is Bobby, and I spend way too much time thinking about the psychological triggers that cause smart people to make mathematically catastrophic decisions with their paychecks. If you are part of a dual-income couple that feels constantly strapped for cash despite earning a combined 6 figures, or if you keep wondering where all that extra money disappears to every month, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we aren't talking about inflation or the cost of eggs. We are talking about the enemy in the mirror. We are going to dissect how 2 incomes often create a false sense of security that authorizes reckless spending. And I'm going to show you why earning more money might actually be making you financially fragile. Here's the thing about the human brain when it encounters a surplus of resources.
Let's hear about the brain.
It panics, but in a pleasurable way. We are evolutionarily wired to consume resources when they are available, because for thousands of years, tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. If you killed a mammoth, you ate the mammoth. You didn't put it in a 401k. When that second income hits the bank account, your brain doesn't see security, it sees permission. It interprets that extra $4,000 a month not as a tool for freedom, but as a license to upgrade. You stop asking, can we afford this, and start asking, do we deserve this? And the answer in our hyper-consumerist culture is always yes. You worked hard, you got the degree, you suffered through the commute. So yes, you deserve the Tesla, you deserve the organic grocery delivery, you deserve the vacation to Tulum. The problem is that deserve is an emotional metric, not a mathematical one. The math says that you just increased your fixed costs to match your new income, effectively neutralizing the raise. You stripped the surplus capital out of your life and replaced it with depreciating liabilities. This is where it gets really interesting, and honestly, a little insidious. The lifestyle creep isn't usually one giant purchase like a yacht. If you bought a yacht, you'd know you messed up. Instead, it is the death by 1,000 upgrades. It is the subtle shift from needs to wants, disguised as needs. When you had 1 income, you packed a lunch. With 2 incomes, you buy a 15.
Family, I told y'all in plenty of my videos, I did a video called Wants versus Need. I told y'all we would save all our 2026 want money, all the shit we spend on want stuff, save all of that in 2026. And then we're going to invest some of that want money in 2027. Want versus need, I'm going to digress. Go back and watch my video on want and need. I'm going to do a book on want versus need. Let's get it.
$15 salad because we can afford it. When you had 1 income, you shopped at Target. With 2 incomes, you shop at Whole Foods because we care about our health. When you had 1 income, you mowed your own lawn. With 2 incomes, you hire a service because our time is too valuable. These small rationalizations seem harmless in isolation, but when you aggregate them across every category of your life, clothing, food, transport, entertainment, they form a massive concrete layer of spending that hardens over time. You don't even notice it happening. It just becomes your new baseline. And once you upgrade your baseline, it is
You don't need no financial or economic so-called guru on none of these social medias. This shit is bare minimum. This shit is easy to understand. You just got to know how to manage your money and stop with the want stuff. The materialism that you put in, on, and around your body, and save that. This shit ain't hard. When people come and talk, man, I'm the expert guru, the financial and economical guru. Man, I laugh. This is not that hard, man. This is simple stuff for smart people managing your money and your economic and finance. So you ain't working paycheck to paycheck. This is elementary to me. To y'all, it's like, man, this shit is hard. This shit is elementary, man. I'm gonna digress, man. This shit is crazy, man. People with these degrees
It's
don't know how to
psychologically
manage money and
agonizing
manage
to
their
downgrade.
finances.
Going from a
Fuck outta
Honda
here.
to a BMW feels great. Going from a BMW back to a Honda feels like a failure. It feels like you're losing status. It feels like you're going backward. So
Show
you fight
offism.
tooth and nail to keep the upgrades, even if it means carrying credit card debt. You have trapped yourself in a cage of your
Trapped
own
your goddamn
expectations.
self.
You have anchored your happiness to a price point that requires constant maximum effort to maintain. Let's talk about the convenience industrial complex,
talk about it.
because this is where dual income households bleed the most.
Let's hear
When
it.
both people are working 40 or 50 hours a week, you are time poor but cash rich. The market knows this. The market has created an entire economy designed to sell you back your own time at a
Sure
premium.
have.
You are too tired to cook, so you use DoorDash. That's 100% markup on food.
100%.
You are too tired to clean, so you hire a maid. You are too tired to shop, so you pay for Instacart delivery. You are too tired to walk the dog, so you hire a walker. Essentially, you are taking your second salary and funneling a huge chunk of it into services that allow you to keep working the second job. It's a feedback loop. You work to pay for the convenience you need because you work. If you actually sat down and calculated the net income of the second job after subtracting the costs of daycare, convenience food,
The crazy thing is, family, even these people that have these bachelors, masters, and PhDs in economics and finance, they broke and poor living paycheck to paycheck. The people that got all the degrees in it is broke and goddamn living paycheck to paycheck. That's, hey, man, y'all got it, man. America is in 15, 20, 30, 50, whatever trillion dollars in debt. Man, this is... Hey, like father, mother, like son and daughter, huh? Hey, man, that's how I look at it, man. You and dead ass niggas. Let's get it. Paycheck to paycheck ass niggas. My apologies for cussing. No apologies.
food, commuting, and the higher tax bracket, because remember, the second income is taxed at your highest marginal rate. You might find that one of you is working for $5 an hour. You are running a business with high revenue, but zero profit margin.
Zero
Now, you might be
profit
thinking,
margin.
but Bobby, we need 2 cars. We need the house in the good school district. These aren't luxuries. And look, I get it. The economy has shifted to punish single-earner households. Housing prices have risen to match the purchasing power of dual-income families. But this brings us to the most dangerous aspect of the dual-income trap,
Let's hear it.
the amplification of fixed expenses. When you go to a bank to get a mortgage, they look at your combined gross income. They don't look at your daycare costs. They don't look at your spending habits.
Sure don't.
They approve you for a house based on the assumption that both of you will work at your current peak earning capacity for the next
yes.
30 years. And because we're optimistic creatures, we buy the house at the top of that approval limit. We lock ourselves into a $4,000 mortgage that requires 2 incomes to service. We buy 2 new cars with $700 payments.
Oh, they way
Suddenly,
more than
our
that
fixed
now.
burn rate, the money that goes out the door before we buy a single grape, is $6,000 or $7,000 a month. Here's what most people don't realize.
What they
By
don't
locking in
realize.
fixed expenses that require 2 incomes, you have doubled your risk of bankruptcy. In the old days, and I'm not saying the old days were perfect, but the math was different. A family lived on 1 income. If the dad lost his job, it was a crisis. But if the mom wasn't working, she could enter the workforce to bridge the gap. There was a backup generator. There was slack in the system. In a modern dual-income family with high fixed costs, the backup generator is already running at full capacity just to
Already
keep the
running
lights
at full
on.
capacity.
If one person loses their job or gets sick or burns out and needs to quit, the household collapses instantly. You cannot pay the mortgage on 1 salary. You cannot pay the car notes. You burn through your emergency fund in 3 months. You have 0 margin. You are driving a race car at 200 miles an hour with no brakes.
With no
You might
brakes.
feel rich because of the cash flow, but you are actually incredibly fragile because of the leverage. This is exacerbated by social comparison or keeping up with the Joneses. The problem is that in
Showing off.
2025, the Joneses are also a dual-income couple drowning in debt. When you
Paycheck
move
to
into that
paycheck.
nice neighborhood that your 2 incomes unlocked, you are surrounded by other people playing the same game. You see the
Same
renovations, the private schools, the Pelotons, the immaculate landscaping. It becomes the water we swim in. You start to believe that spending $10,000 on a family vacation is normal because everyone in your circle does it. You justify it as the experience economy. You tell yourself, we are buying memories. And sure, memories are great, but compound interest is better.
Way
If you
better.
blow $10,000 a year on vacations instead of investing it, over 30 years, you have sacrificed nearly $1 million of future wealth. You
Maybe
bought
a little
week
more.
at Disney World for the price of your retirement freedom. You are trading your future security for present-day Instagram posts.
So why does this happen? Why do smart people with degrees and good jobs fall
Yeah,
for
that's
this?
what get
It's
to
because
tell
we
me,
lack an
man.
anchor. When you don't have a clear definition of what enough looks like, your consumption will always expand to match your income. There's Parkinson's law applied to finance. We treat our savings account like a leaky bucket. We pour more water in, income, but we also drill more holes in the bottom, expenses. We pat ourselves on the back for the heavy flow of water, ignoring the fact that the bucket is never getting full. We can
Watch what nail polish actually does to your toenail fungus. It's kind of surprising.
They gave y'all another break from this goddamn go true fact, reality, logic, and objectivity. Let's get
We
right back at it.
confuse high cash flow with wealth. They are not the same.
They ain't the same.
High cash flow just means you are a conduit for money to pass through on its way to Amazon, the bank, and the IRS. Wealth is what stays in the bucket. Wealth is the money you don't spend. Breaking this cycle requires a radical, almost painful level of honesty.
The
You need
truth.
to perform a forensic income audit. Sit down with your partner and pour a drink.
How is it that the truth always gets you out of every motherfucking thing, but people don't want to be about the truth? It gets you out of everything, man. Everything, man. Let's
Because
get
this
it.
will hurt. And look at where every single dollar went in the last 3 months. Not where you think it went, where it actually went. You will be shocked to find that the lifestyle
Shocked
creep
and
isn't in the
appalled.
mortgage. It's in the $800 a month at Target, the $600 on dining out, the $400 on subscriptions you don't use, the $200 on Amazon impulse buys. You have to identify the leakage. You have to realize that you
Identify
are
all the leaks,
voluntarily
man.
giving away your freedom for temporary comforts that you won't remember in 2 weeks.
So won't.
The most powerful strategy you can implement, the one that separates the truly wealthy from the high earner, not rich yet crowd, is the one income rule. It sounds impossible, but it is the holy grail. You structure your life so that your fixed expenses, mortgage, cars, utilities, food, can be covered by one salary, the
Factual.
lower salary. The larger salary is then treated as if it doesn't exist. It is swept automatically into savings, investments, and debt repayment. If you can do this, you become bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
You regain the backup generator. If one of you gets laid off, you don't lose the house, you just stop saving for a few months. If you want to retire early, you can, because you are saving 50% of your household income.
Factual.
This requires sacrifice. It means living in a smaller
Sacrifice.
house than
They're
the
not
bank
doing
says
it.
you can afford. It means driving used cars. It means opting out of the status game. But the peace of mind it buys is worth more than any luxury SUV.
Factual.
If the one income rule is too extreme for you right now, start with the lag strategy. The next time one of you gets a raise or a bonus, pretend you didn't get it for 6
Pretend you
months.
didn't get it.
Do not change a single thing about your lifestyle. Let that money pile up in a separate account. This breaks the psychological link between earning and spending. It proves to your brain that you can survive and be happy without that extra money.
Sure can.
Once you have banked it for 6 months, you can decide deliberately what to do with it. Pay off a car, fund an IRA, rather than impulsively absorbing it into your daily spend. We have to stop looking at a second income as a license to ball out. In this economy, a second income is a defensive weapon. It is a shield, not a sword. Use it to build a fortress of cash and assets that protects your family from the volatility of the world.
Always.
Don't use it to build a gilded cage that you are terrified to leave. If this video made you realize you've been spending your raise before it even hits the account, share it with your partner. It's time to have the hard conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
True fact, reality, logic, and objectivity was spoken in this video. I'm out.